The catcher's position includes much more than just receiving, blocking, and throwing. Our video will cover these topics as well as the proper stances, tag plays, force plays, fielding bunts, pitch outs, pop-ups, and drills. These are all important parts of developing the complete catcher. We will begin with the catcher's setup. The catcher's stance with no one on base is relaxed and comfortable. The catcher wants to give the pitcher a low target as an aiming point. The hand position should be either behind the catcher's back or behind their right shoe, depending on which is more comfortable. This is to prevent foul tips from hitting your bare hand. The catcher's glove arm should be slightly bent in the shape of a V, with the elbow slightly above the knee. The flexion in the arm will allow the catcher to receive the ball softly and out in front. A common problem catchers have is that they crouch too far away from the batter. This can prevent the umpire from seeing the ball, particularly low strikes. The way to check if the catcher is close enough to the batter is to reach out with your glove hand and try to touch the batter's left knee. The glove should be an inch or two from the batter's left knee. This will put the catcher in the proper position for each batter. Stance is relaxed and comfortable. Give low target. Bare hand hidden. Glove arm, letter V. Proper distance from batter. With the proper stance, the catcher is ready to receive the ball with no runners on base. Once the catcher is in a comfortable position to receive the ball and is given a low target, we can discuss how to receive and frame pitches. When receiving, catchers want to catch the ball out in front of their body with soft hands. To relax their glove hand, the catcher should relax by slightly dropping the wrist as the pitcher is releasing the ball. Catchers need to make sure that they follow every pitch with their eyes into the glove. Catchers need to position their glove with their fingers up so they don't have to turn their glove and wrist too much to catch a pitch. Catchers need to make sure they take one movement to the ball with their hand and arm. When framing pitches, we want to make sure we frame strikes to be strikes. When catching pitches out of the strike zone, the catcher should simply throw the ball back to the pitcher. Catchers do not want to pull pitches. Excessive movement with the arm or hand will only upset umpires instead of getting them to call the borderline strikes. Catchers frame pitches with their wrists, not their arm. On an inside pitch to a right-handed batter, the catcher wants to bring his hand around the ball, keeping his left elbow down and turning the wrist slightly as he receives the pitch. This reduces arm movement and keeps the pitch in the strike zone. On an outside pitch, keep your wrist straight and sway your body outside so the catcher keeps the ball in the middle of his body. Catching pitches on the corners out in front of the body will keep the ball from traveling out of the strike zone. The catcher's hand is also stronger in front of the body, where the glove will give less when receiving the ball. Receive the ball in front. Soft hands. Relaxed wrists. Eyes follow every pitch to the glove. Frame strikes to be strikes. Frame with the wrist, not the arm. Once a runner reaches base, catchers need to make adjustments in their stance. Catchers need to get into their throwing blocking stance. Catchers need to anticipate that any pitch could be in the dirt, and the runner may steal at any time. To position himself in the throwing blocking stance, the catcher needs to spread his feet slightly, raise his backside up so there is a 90-degree angle at his knees, his throwing hand goes behind his glove, and he points his toes out slightly. The catcher needs to check his shoulders and feet so that they stay square to the pitcher. Spread feet. Raise backside. Throwing hand behind glove. Slightly point toes out. The catcher spreads his feet out because it allows him to get in his throwing and blocking positions quicker. He raises his backside because his first movement would be up. The hand goes behind the glove so he can get the ball out of the glove quicker and between the legs when blocking. The catcher points his toes out slightly because it allows him to move side to side when blocking. The catcher needs to stay square instead of angling the body and moving the right foot back because the body needs to be square to the ball when blocking. Catchers need to remember that with runners on base, they need to concern themselves with potential base stealers and blocking balls in the dirt. When a ball is thrown in the dirt, the catcher should always block the ball towards home plate. The catcher needs to drive his knees down and cut down the distance the ball has to travel after hitting the ground. The higher the ball hits on the chest protector, the farther the ball will bounce away. The same time that the knees are dropping, the glove and bare hand drop between the legs. Catchers should never let the ball go between their legs. The glove stays on the ground as the ball hits the body. Catchers should not try to catch the ball by bringing their glove up. Catchers need to make sure that the bare hand gets behind the glove and that the elbows and arms are tucked in against their sides of their body. Our shoulders need to be square to the ball, and we want to put our body in the shape of the letter C. Breathing out as the ball makes contact will soften the body. When blocking balls side to side, the catcher wants to drive his opposite hip to the ball on a downward angle. This will be much quicker than stepping to the ball. The catcher needs to position himself on an angle so that when the ball hits the body, it will go towards home plate. Always block the ball towards home plate. When blocking, the catcher's eyes should follow the ball all the way to his body. Every time the catcher blocks, he needs to quickly retrieve the ball and be in a position to throw. Anticipate every ball in dirt. Block ball toward home plate. Cut down distance. Glove between legs. Make body letter C. Opposite hip to the ball. Block and recover. The key to being successful at throwing base stealers out is to be as quick as possible while still being accurate. Proper footwork will allow the catcher to get in his throwing position as quick as possible. The types of footwork catchers use are a jump turn or a jab step and turn. The advantage of a jump turn is that players will get to the throwing position more quickly. This is for catchers with strong arms, because they do not have much momentum going forward. You will see many professional catchers using this footwork. The jab step footwork is for most catchers. As the catcher is receiving the ball, his right foot steps forward about 4 to 5 inches, and then he swings his left foot around as fast as possible. This slight movement forward will allow catchers to get their legs underneath the throw. Now that we know the different footworks to throw with, we can discuss all the other facets of throwing. Catchers need to make sure that they do not stand straight up when they throw. Their feet should be lined up, which also squares their shoulders to second base. Feet slightly more than shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, and their weight should be distributed between both legs. As the catcher receives the ball, he should pull the ball towards his right shoulder, and as he's pulling the glove back, he should turn his left wrist so he can reach directly into the glove for the ball with his throwing hand. When gripping the ball, the catcher should have a four-seam grip. A catcher's arm action is different from that of other position players. Their arm action is more like shooting a bow and arrow. Their elbow leads straight back instead of making a full circle. Make sure the elbow leads straight back, not up. The fingers need to stay on top of the ball. As the arm comes forward, the catcher wants his elbow to lead his hand. On release, the wrist goes straight down. Choose footwork. Do not stand straight up. Feet lined up. Square shoulders. Four-seam grip. Proper arm action. When receiving throws for tag plays at home plate, the catcher needs to position himself so he can catch the throw, make the tag, and protect himself. The proper position to receive a throw is to have the knees slightly bent, hand and glove out in front of the body, and have their left foot pointing up the third baseline and their right foot towards the direction the throw is coming from. The catcher has the option of leaving his mask on or off, depending on which he is more comfortable with. Once the catcher is in a good athletic position, he is ready to receive the throw. If possible, the catcher wants to catch the ball with two hands. Upon receiving the ball, the catcher wants to hold the ball in his throwing hand in the glove. When applying the tag, the catcher should try to have the back side of the glove make contact with the runner, so there is less chance of the ball being knocked loose. After making the tag, the catcher needs to turn his body back towards the field, looking for the next play. When covering home plate, give the base runner the back side of home plate and then take it away after the catcher receives the ball. The reason the catcher points his foot up the third baseline while awaiting the throw is if the runner slides into your leg, the catcher's leg will give with the runner. There is much greater risk for injury if a runner slides into the side of a catcher's leg. Athletic position. Left foot pointed up third baseline. Right foot in direction of throw. Give runner backside of plate, then take away. Look for next play. The catcher positions his right foot on home plate and gives the infielder a good target with his glove. On this play, it is very important that the catcher makes sure to get the first out at home plate. At times, the catcher will have to act like a first baseman. The mask comes off as the catcher is coming out of his stance. Upon receiving the ball and forcing the runner out at home, the catcher wants to push his body out in front of the plate for two reasons. One, so the base runner cannot slide into his legs, and two, to give the catcher a clearer lane to throw the ball to first base. The shoulders need to be squared towards first base for an accurate throw. Right foot on home plate. Get the first out. Take mask off. Clear body from home plate. When the catcher comes out of his crouch to field bunts, he needs to take his mask off and stay low. On balls bunted down from first base or straight out in front of home plate, the catcher turns his left shoulder towards first base as he picks the ball up with both his bare hand and glove. On balls bunted down the third base line, the catcher approaches the ball with his back turned towards first. Again, he picks the ball up with two hands and turns to his left and squares his left shoulder to first base to make the throw. Mask off. Stay low. Pick ball up with both hands. Square shoulders. The catcher needs to start with his foot at the corner of the plate furthest from the batter. Once the ball is released by the pitcher, the open batter box side foot steps out on an angle towards second base. Upon receiving the ball, the catcher squares his shoulders to second base and throws. Young catchers struggle with catching foul pop-ups. Catchers who are successful at catching foul pops find the ball as quickly as possible. If there is a right-handed batter or left-handed batter up, this will determine which direction you look first. If a right-handed batter is up, you look to your right side first, and to the left if a left-handed batter is up. Once the ball is in the air, whichever side the ball is on is the foot that you take a drop step with. As you are performing this drop step, you are also taking your mask off. Catchers should turn their back to the infield as the ball is descending. Do not go directly under the ball. Instead, take a couple of steps back. When the ball is found, you then throw your mask in the opposite direction. Catch the ball at its highest point above your head. Try to align the pop-up with your head as it starts coming down. Find ball quickly. Mask off. Turn back to infield. Mask in opposite direction of ball. Catch ball at highest point. Tennis ball rapid fire, with and without glove. Catcher focuses on receiving ball with soft hands as partner continuously tosses tennis balls to partner. Framing with glove. Catcher chooses specific location and concentrates on using proper technique to receive pitch. Block without ball hand point. Catcher focuses on proper approach and form to the spot where his partner has pointed. With ball, 3-3-3. Partner tells catcher where he will throw the ball and continues to throw 3 pitches in the same location, to be used as a warm-up. Hula hoop and cones blocking. Position a hula hoop in front of home plate and 4 cones to the side and front of home plate. Goal is to block ball into hula hoop or to keep ball inside cones. Use point system. Rapid fire blocking. Partner continuously feeds catcher balls in the dirt. Drill used to build stamina and quickness. Throwing position freeze. Catcher comes out of crouch and freezes in throwing position. Examine catcher for proper balance and weight distribution. In this video, we discussed many topics. With practice, we know that they will make you a more complete catcher. Frozen Ropes wishes you good luck in catching and the upcoming season. For more information, log on at frozenropes.com or call 1-877-FROZEN1.